I am a believer in the perfectibility of human beings. At the Circle, we can finally realize our potential. When we are our best selves, there isn't a problem that we cannot solve.
I've been a fan of Dave Eggers' writing since college, when A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius came out. I loved it, and I think I've read pretty much everything he's written since. And a number of his things I sort of thought, might make really interesting films. I'd always been interested in that idea. And then when I read The Circle, I fell in love with it. It terrified me. It terrified me how much I identified with the main character. And then Dave and I started talking, several months after the book came out, about the idea of me sort of adapting his book, and it was just off to the races from there.
We can cure any disease, and we can end hunger. Imagine the human rights implications. The possibilities are endless.
We just started talking about different people for roles, and Dave mentioned, he was like, what do you think of the idea of Tom for Eamon Bailey? Because I think he likes that character. And when someone says, how do you feel about Tom Hanks? You have to be honest, which what I told him was he's my favorite actor, which is true. Tom's been my favorite actor forever, since I was a little kid. So yeah, I flipped. We got him the script, and I met with him pretty soon thereafter, and then we were just off to the races from there.
Your payment, it was for $78.13, and the bill was for $78.31. Thank you.
You got the job at the Circle.
Emma Watson is one of my favorite actors. Like everybody, I've seen all the Harry Potter movies. I loved her in Perks of Being a Wallflower and Bling Ring. She's an amazing actor that, certainly for a generation of young people, they grew up with her. She grew up in films, and they grew up with her. And, I think if you're doing a film now about, making that choice sort of post-college about how you're going to live your life, what are the ethics and morality that are going to guide the choices that you make, I think, she's like a wonderful sort of guide to go on that journey.
At the Circle, they need to change. Everything recorded, seen, broadcast is stored and analyzed here. They can use it however they see fit, no matter what its cost.
John, he's a brilliant actor, and he's driven and focused and just wildly adept, and he knew this guy. And I think he brought characterization that sort of took it in a slightly different direction than what was on the page, but all for the better. I think he blurs the picture of who a programmer would be.
I've been looking into your parents' situation, and I have an idea. I was thinking it would make sense for May's folks to come on the Circle Health Plan.
I want to say how much I value what you've done for my family.
May, you're a valued part of the Circle. We care about everybody you care about.
In making the film, I'm working with some of my favorite actors, with Tom Hanks and Emma Watson, Karen Gillan and John Boyega and Bill Paxton, all these, Patton Oswalt, all these people, Glenn Headley, like people that I just love, have seen in so many things and love, and sort of it was such a luxury to be able to bring these characters that I read in a novel and then turn into a script, and to then sort of add flesh and bone and make them different, fuller, fleshed out than how they were in the book. It's a really, really great thing. I love that collaboration.
May's only been with us for a few months, but she has made quite an impression.
Many of Dave's ideas that are in the book have already come to pass. Some of them will. Some of them are clearly funny in a dark way. Some of them are terrifying. I always thought of it as an alternaverse. It's now just if things went a little bit wrong, perhaps, or now if you just a couple of the dominant sort of companies based in Northern California didn't exist, and the Circle sort of filled the place that they did. So it could be now.
Knowing is good, but knowing everything is better.